Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue with our previous chapter that we were learning about. In this we started to learn about what do you mean by the democratic structure of government, where we studied that a democratic form of government is such kind of government which is regarded as those form of government where people they select their own representative or they select their own government by a voting system on attaining a particular age. And we have also taken up examples of various countries as well as our own country, India, where it states about how India is considered as a democratic form of government and how the structure is formed. In this, we also studied about a system which is known as the federal structure. And in federal structure, we studied that the government has separated its power, or it has distributed its power in two different parts. One is the union government and the state government, or the central government or the state individual government, having their own function, own structure, and on the other sense they are also related to each other in certain grounds. Now this federal structure, we had studied that it is again divided according to its working in three important parts. One is known as the union list, then the state list and the concurrent list. In union list we had studied that those kind of powers which are vested upon the central government, which is regarded as or which is important to the nation, or which is regarded to be a national for the national benefit, like defense, finance, transport and etc. In state list, it is those kind of power that is enlisted in it, which states about those functions that the state government has to do according to the functions or powers that are being stated to them, which is in regarding to mostly education. Then you have transport system, roadways and public healthcare system. And in concurrent list, the third one is those kind of powers that are invested upon both the central and the state government together, and they collaboratively work together on it, which is in regarding to most probably agricultural. Then you have certain parts of the road or transport system. Then you have archaeological survey or archaeological findings which are being done. So in this way, the powers are divided into various different structures or lists, which is known as the union list, state list and the concurrent list. Now the another major structure is known as the legislature, which you can term is as one of the organs of the government. Now legislature means what? Legislature means a system of parliament, and parliament has its own divisions in it, or it combines various different things which makes together a parliament system. Now who comprises the parliament? The thing is that now the parliament consists of the president of India, then the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Now it has two important houses that it consists of, which is known as the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Now what legislature has, or what its function is? Now legislature is actually a body which makes laws and which works through the parliamentary system in a democratic form of government mostly. Now according to it, as I told you, that parliament is divided into two important parts. One is Lok Sabha and the other one is Rajya Sabha. So now we are going to understand what is Lok Sabha. Now Lok Sabha is one of the forms of the parliament where it is also known as the House of People. Now why it is termed as the House of People? It is termed as the House of People because the representatives that are sitting or that are there in the Lok Sabha are most probably those people who are chosen by the general public through voting system. And through voting system, whichever candidate who are standing in the elections gets major votes, they represent that community of people or that group of people or a place of people, and for them they represent in the Lok Sabha as a member. That is why they are known as the House of People, consisting of those people, those members who are chosen by the votes of the general public. Now, these constituencies are most probably where members, they sit together and discuss about major problems that are faced within their own areas or within their own jurisdictional places from where they belong to, and their membership are for about, they are members of the Lok Sabha for a period of 5 years. That has to be understood very clearly. Now, the Lok Sabha is also those candidates. Now, how are, the question arises that who are the people who are eligible to choose the member of the Lok Sabha? Now, in India, it is considered that those people who attain the age of 18 and above and they get voting rights, they are regarded as eligible people who can go and vote for them. And the age group of people who can stand for the election to be the member of the Lok Sabha is about 25 years. That means what? A person who wants to stand to be a member of the Lok Sabha and stands in an election, his age should be minimum of about 25 years. He should be a citizen of India, secondly, and he should be enlisted in the voter list, in the voting. And this particular voting system or the candidates from where they are chosen is known as constituencies. Now the question arises, what is the meaning of constituencies? Now, constituencies means, like India is a large country which is divided into various different states or different groups you can call, that is known as states, and each state is further subdivided into smaller sizes or smaller parts. Now, these smaller parts are divided so that the election could be conducted in an easy way. It is not possible to conduct one election for whole of the India in general terms. So, the members or the states are divided into various smaller sizes, and these smaller sizes of parts of the state is known as constituency. Now, most probably it is done so that elections could be held in a proper way and in a simplified way. Now, the person who gets highest votes, who is standing in an election, that person on the basis of that becomes the member of the Lok Sabha. Now, the secondly is about the Rajya Sabha. Now, the Rajya Sabha is known as the upper house of the parliament, where the vice president of India is regarded as the speaker. Now, speaker plays a very important role in each of the parliamentary system. In Lok Sabha also there is a speaker, and Rajya Sabha also there is a speaker. But both of the elections are different. Now, here in Lok Sabha, the speaker is elected from the votes given by the members of the parliament. Okay, of the Lok Sabha members. The person who gets highest votes to be the speaker, he is elected as the speaker, who sees that the discipline system or the order of law and system within the parliament is maintained in a proper way, and the working of the parliament goes very smoothly. In the same way, in Rajya Sabha also, the person who is selected as the vice president of India, he automatically is designated as the speaker of the Lok Sabha, and he has the similar function as what the Lok Sabha speaker does. The same way the Rajya Sabha speaker also has the same functions to be done. Now, here it also states about the members of both the houses. Now, in Lok Sabha there are about a total strength of 552 members in total, whereas in Rajya Sabha the maximum number of members that are there is about 250. Now, how are these members elected? Now, as I discussed about the Lok Sabha members, the Lok Sabha members are elected through voting. But it is different in the case of Rajya Sabha. Now, in Rajya Sabha, voting is there, but on a different basis, where the members are selected on certain group wise, categorically, where a group of members or a certain number of members are selected from the state legislature or the members who have won in the state elections. individual state election. For example, if there are members who are elected in West Bengal, about 10 members are elected in West Bengal, or total strength of West Bengal is about 100 or 150, for example. Now from that members, those who are eligible to be the member of Rajya Sabha, they are being selected from those houses. A certain number are constituted for it, and they become the member of the Rajya Sabha. And the core member who is the member of Rajya Sabha is the President of India. Now there are also certain privileges or special power that is given to the President in regarding to the members, selection of the members of the Rajya Sabha. Now there are about 12 members who are selected as the or nominated by the President of India separately. And who are the person who are nominated? Now these nominations are done on the basis of certain criteria or conditions. Now those people who belong from a category of sports person, or those who have gained certain kind of extra knowledge or superiority in the society, those people are nominated by the choice of the President of India, and they are given the seats as nominated seats by the President, that is about 12 members in the Rajya Sabha. So this constitutes the membership of the Rajya Sabha, and the term period of Rajya Sabha, of the members of the Rajya Sabha, is about 6 years. Now there is a comparison in both, where here in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, if you compare Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, in Lok Sabha members are elected through voting, but in Rajya Sabha members are elected through selections from the state legislature as well as their own or Rajya Sabha existing members. Secondly, here the members' age should be about 25, and the members here in Rajya Sabha is about 30 and 35 years. The citizenship is compulsory in both the parts, where Indian citizens are being nominated. Here also Indian citizens are nominated. And in Rajya Sabha, 12 members are nominated by the President of India. And the last one is the term period. Here Lok Sabha has a term period of 5 years, whereas Rajya Sabha has a term period of 6 years, the members. Now, the other part in this is that who stands as the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. Now, as I told, the Vice President is the chairman or the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha, who is regarded as ex-socio officer of the Rajya Sabha with various important powers and functions in regard to conduction of the decorum or quorum of the House. This is about in details where we get a clear picture or a brief picture about how does Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha functions, or the membership and its various important few basics details. Now in this you have to understand it very clearly, because this structural or this details would be very beneficial for you in your higher classes. These are just basic things that you should be knowing about the parliamentary system, which consists of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Now in our upcoming classes, we are going to learn about the second part of the organ of the government, which is known as the executive part of the government. And on that basis, the next part is about the judiciary system that we are going to continue in our next class. So thank you very much.